It's like your cup is so full. You have abundance. Your cup spilleth over instead of lack. I need more. I'm a malcontent.
Yeah.
And a misfit.
That's got to make the preview reel right there.
The Babylon Bee Thanksgiving Special.
Friends, if you're like most Americans, you're getting very concerned about all the dangers around the world. Well, now is the time to do something about it. Go to preparewithbee.com and you'll save $250 on a life-sustaining 3-month emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest preparedness company. They want to help American families be prepared for the unthinkable and save money at the same time. That's why they're knocking $250 off their popular 3-month emergency food kit. To save $250 per kit, go to preparewithbee.com right now while it's on your mind. Each kit contains enough meals for 3 months per person. You'll be eating comfortably, fine dining, instead of standing in government food lines. These kits are in stock and ship fast and free. They arrive in unmarked boxes for your privacy. So go to preparewithbee.com right now and save $250 per kit. It's the lowest price since 2019, but this offer ends soon. Go to preparewithbee.com. Hey everybody, welcome to the Babylon Bee 2022 Thanksgiving Special.
All right.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. The only podcast that has a Thanksgiving special. Hey, before we
You
get...
can tell it's Thanksgiving because right here it says it is Thanksgiving.
It's
Thanks,
clearly on the
sign.
note.
Yes.
And we wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't. So you know it is.
When you need a sign, there's always
Yeah.
one there.
There's some sort of sign that it's Thanksgiving. Before we get started, so this is going to be a special episode where we just take a few minutes, talk about things we're thankful for. We have some fun holiday stories. We have subscriber-submitted Thanksgiving stories, which will be fun. But we wanted to do a little bit of promotional material first. We want to remind you that we have Babylon Bee Live coming up, so go to babylonbeelive.com to get tickets to come see us in person in the Fort Worth area on February 24th. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Woo!
DFW.
DF dub. Post a massive dub and make yourself available to come to our live show. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so please come check it out. Chandler's very excited about
Yes.
it. It
Yeah,
looks like.
I think it'll be really awesome.
Everybody else was
Do
just
my
straight
SpongeBob
faced.
impression.
She was.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fun. My first convention that I've actually been like a member of.
This is your first like conference or convention or meeting like featuring Chandler.
I guess so. I've performed at NAMM show a few times.
Okay.
Yeah,
So like, well, yes, as a musician.
yeah,
you've
as a
done some
musician, but
recordings.
first time as like a personality.
As like the modern day Lucille Ball.
That is like so sweet.
Yeah, well,
Thank
you know,
you, Kyle.
you do have that Lucille Ball energy, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
Wow. Well, that's
We should
what
totally,
I'm thankful for.
We
That
need,
was a
we,
very
need,
nice
we need to
compliment.
write a sketch for her now
The Lucy
where
sketch.
she's got the chocolates coming down the conveyor belt.
We need to do the chocolates.
Yeah.
I think she's working on one.
I'm working on it.
So I'm
I
excited.
have to do more studying. I have to watch a few more episodes to get the right.
You need us to buy you the entire Blu-ray set.
I would love
for
that. That's what I
research.
want for Christmas from our Secret Santa. Or we could, we could co-write it. I don't know. You guys.
We all can get a box
That
set.
used to be a big thing in the television industry where like writers and producers and stuff, you would always just say you needed things for research because you wanted them. Like I knew a writer who got the entire box set of The Sopranos when it came out because he said he needed it to write a sketch.
That's awesome.
I mean, we kind of do that here. But
Yeah.
like, all that Bucky stuff. That
Yeah,
we
that you
got.
could write it off or
It's-
get the company
it's,
to buy it for you.
Yeah. It's a write-off.
I don't think Seth watches the podcast, so we're
No,
probably safe saying that.
Yeah.
I got that Blu-ray set of Firefly
Nice.
just so we could have it in that box of
And
stuff
we'll be getting
found at Mar-a-Lago.
We'll be getting X-Wing for the X-Wings Legos.
I specifically, I wrote that sketch about Kamala Harris, a speechwriter who's a 6-year-old kid.
Yes.
Spoilers, that sketch will be coming out soon.
Yeah.
And at one part of in the stage direction, I say he's playing with this very
yeah.
specific X-Wing model on Amp.
Only
He has an original rocket firing Boba Fett.
And then I hyperlinked to the eBay.
limited edition. This one bid at this amount
He gets out his mint condition Black Lotus.
for research. It's for a prop. It's a write-off.
Well, guys, you guys all grow up with special Thanksgiving traditions.
Yes.
You guys all do Thanksgiving. I always like Thanksgiving. I think it's one
Thanksgiving is my favorite
of the best.
holiday.
I think you said that last
Yeah.
year. Yeah. Favorite holiday.
It's one of the best holidays for
It
sure.
is a great
and I think it's also kind of like non-denominational.
Yes.
It's like everyone's just come together. The idea is like there's God who gave us all this stuff and gave us our families, and let's give thanks. And it's just a very simple. It's a very simple idea. It's like
Yes.
there's not a lot of extra stuff that goes on.
And I love the spirit of it, that you're grateful to God for, the things you have. You get to spend time with family and friends. And I like that it's a very relaxing and enjoyable holiday, but other than cooking that day, there's not a lot of prep or stress about it. It always feels like
Yeah.
a very relaxing kind of time of year.
Yeah,
for
because
me.
Christmas is like the complete opposite.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah. And then there's like the day after and the whole weekend after. Lots of time to like chill out and veg out. I guess like, yes, being thankful, spending time with family, those things are all great. But I just feel like Thanksgiving as an excuse to just like, that's the day. I'm just going to like go way overboard and eat way too much and like feel like bloated and in pain. It's going to be awesome. Like,
And
I'm
then
going
the
to try to do
drinking
without
starts
that.
after that.
And then the drinking, and then the leftovers, and then
Goes through New Year's.
Yes.
yeah. It's the holidays. I'll start on January 1st, I'm going
New
to try
Year's
to
is
do
actually
without
my
that.
least favorite
Oh.
because I feel like I'm so tired of drinking and eating by that point.
Yeah.
It's like
Makes sense.
that starts at Thanksgiving, it goes through Christmas, and then by the time New Year's comes, I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
And
that
that's why the
makes sense.
gyms
Like
are
New
full
Year's, you
on
just
January
have
1st.
Yeah, New Year's is like expectations. You're
Yes.
like, oh, what I hope will happen, or you start getting anxious about like, what's my New Year gonna be, and as opposed to just being.
And I feel
thankful.
lame if I don't do something on New Year's. Like, I feel lame if I just stay in, but I also, that's often what I want to
what
do
I
that
wanna
night.
do.
Yeah.
I think this year we fell asleep at like 11.
Yeah.
So you couldn't quite make it. To
I'm doing stand-up this year. It's the second time I've done it on
that's
New Year's,
cool.
and that's my favorite thing to
Oh,
do.
yeah,
Now,
that's
it's
probably
only my second time doing it, but it gives me something to do, and it's like,
That's cool. And then you can celebrate with the people
Exactly.
and do the countdown.
Did you
That's
get to
cool.
go watch him? And
I did. I was, yes.
did you rate his show like one to 10?
I would rate it 10 out of 10. I was so impressed, Adam.
10
I was
being
really.
the worst, 1 being
No, I was really blown away. I was
Of my
so.
top 10, it's on the bottom.
I've never seen you do stand up
Oh, thank
before,
you.
and I've seen you do your weekly news thing here, but it's not a real true audience there, and it was really great.
Well, if you'd like to see it, check out my new Dry Bar special, Not Big Enough to Cancel, available now.
Yeah.
Where's it? Okay, where can we see it?
So Dry Bar, it's run by, they're affiliated with Angel Studios. They have their own website. It's a clean comedy website. So you can subscribe and watch it on there. Or they also post clips and then eventually the whole specials on YouTube. Now, I'm not sure if this one will get simultaneously posted on both platforms, but it'll be available on drybarcomedy.com and on YouTube.
Awesome.
you had one joke that
It's
for
available
some
now.
reason.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Congratulations. There was one joke in particular that I just like. I don't know why this made me laugh as hard as I did, but it was the joke about how you said
I
you're.
want you to try to deliver it.
You said I will try. But you said, oh, I gotta go take my baby so he can feed.
Oh, yes.
And he said that's really weird. You like babies don't feed. Only parasites like ticks and leeches feed. You wouldn't say, "Oh, I'm taking my wife to dinner for our 8th anniversary so she can feed." And like you said it in such a way, I like lost it.
How'd she do on the delivery there?
She did good on the delivery. The setup was a little bit of a meander, but that joke,
One
the
out of-
punchline.
one
I
to
only
10,
heard
how
it
would you
once.
The punchline
But
was
what
nailed.
I knew it was coming, so and then it also reminded me of like dudes that talk about intermittent fasting, and they always refer to it as, yeah, that's like when I feed. I'm like, that's so weird.
I've never heard that.
You don't feed, you eat. Like what? You're like, yeah, so I like fast for 16 hours, and then for 4 hours, like I feed. I'm like, that's weird. So like when
strange.
when
It's
it was
very
coming,
strange.
I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna it sent me.
On Thanksgiving, we're all going to feed.
Oh yeah. Now that is an
was a
appropriate
Bringing it
time.
back.
That was a
Bringing
good-
it back.
that was
You
a
always
good
do a really
circle
good job of that. I'm like the ADD, like, and then you always go, well, let me normal segue here, get us back on track.
Yeah.
But holiday traditions for Thanksgiving, I don't know if you guys have like specific ones. I have one of my favorite holiday traditions. I grew up in a small town, Macungie, Pennsylvania, and there's a tradition there that's been going on for close to 100 years now. There's this mountain called Sheep Rock, and every morning, this isn't a joke,
Sheeprock and
It's like
Macungie.
everything about, like you said,
Yeah.
what's the name of the town?
Macungie.
Like, yeah, that is the name of it.
Yeah.
That sounds like an, and then you're like,
But
that's
at 5 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning, the town gathers like 100 people or so. When it's dark out yet, we have flashlights and it's like cold there. Sometimes it's in the like 20s or 30s. Sometimes it's snowing, and we hike it's like 2 miles up this mountain. And then the local pastors rotate having a sunrise Thanksgiving service on this mountain.
Wow.
And the local Boy Scouts clear the trail the night before. Back when I was in Boy Scouts, we'd camp there overnight and clear the trail and hold lanterns as people go up. And then the local Girl Scout troop hosts some hot chocolate and donuts at the bottom in the cabin when you come back down. It's like I've done it almost every year growing up, and now that I live in California, any year that I'm back home in Pennsylvania, we always do that.
That's like so sweet. It reminds me
Yeah.
of The Grinch.
Yeah, I
It's
was
all,
thinking,
like,
yeah.
It is.
That's, like,
we look
so
down on Whoville. The reason it started in 100 years ago is the story behind it is there was a shepherd out with his sheep like that morning, and they got lost in the woods. And Sheeprock there, it has like this kind of rock overhang, and that's where he like kept his flock warm during the snowstorm.
Oh,
So that
nice.
was what started that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
in the Christmas spirit.
And then you
That's
moved to
my favorite.
California.
That's my favorite Thanksgiving tradition.
Yeah, then you moved to California where no one does anything like that. So.
Have a topher.
Well, when I do stay out in California for Thanksgiving, I just do a Friendsgiving, and it's nice. You just do the potluck thing. Like I said, it's very relaxing and nice. Yeah.
It's great. Well, you should have told your story last.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it's
okay.
all going to be downhill.
Oh, that's
Very
like
true.
it's
It's yeah,
Very good
we have
one.
turkey. That's our tradition.
What has two thumbs and watches the news? This guy. And if you watch the news, you might be getting depressed about how bad some things are getting. And if that isn't enough to convince you that our future is anything but certain, then I don't know what is. And if the unthinkable should ever happen, being able to reach your loved ones is absolutely vital. And let's be honest, your fragile little cell phone won't cut it. That's why we at the Babylon Bee have partnered with the Satellite Phone Store. The revolutionary Bivy Stick uses encrypted satellite technology, which will allow you to text anyone, even if the grid is down. And for a limited time, you can get your own Bivy Stick for free, with an unlimited monthly texting plan for just $55 a month. If you go to sat123.com/B, that's B-E-E, now. Never again worry about losing your ability to communicate in an emergency. Go to sat123.com/B, that's sat123.com/B, and get your free Bivy Stick today. Don't put it off, life can change in an instant. sat123.com/B.
We watched the football game every. Well, the only thing that we did consistently was the day after Thanksgiving, we would always go ice skating, and it was. We just went to a local ice skating rink, and like the whole extended family, 20 to 30 people, would show up at this ice rink and go ice skating.
That's awesome.
So,
That's really
and it was nice
good.
because that was the crazy Black Friday. Like everybody's
Yeah.
out shopping, so nobody's at the ice rink because everybody's out buying stuff at the malls when that used to be a thing, you know. And then we would just all kind of show up as just a nice, relaxing time. And then we would feed at Taco Bell.
Nice. I like the ice skating thing too because I feel like, before Thanksgiving is too early for like winter and
Right,
Christmas
yeah.
activities. But then as soon as the day after hits, I love the holiday
this is great.
spirit.
I
Yeah.
like the whole Thanksgiving weekend. Like
Yeah.
that whole, like you get such a long
great,
weekend.
yeah.
And it's relaxing and wonderful. Did you guys hike any mountains or do any ice skating?
I do hike after Thanksgiving dinner. I think that's like a pretty regular.
cool.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I gotta move. I gotta like break out of
Like
this
on the
food coma
night
thing.
of or the
Yeah, like in the evening time, maybe like before. Just like my family also usually eats like pretty early, like a 4 p.m. type thing.
Okay.
4 or 5 p.m. dinner. Not super consistent with traditions, but one thing that we try to do when we're all together. My mom's a violinist and my sister plays flute and I play cello, and we actually like did weddings and events when I was in high school and stuff, and I made a little bit of money that way. So we'll try to get together and practice some of like our trio songs and
that's cool.
play some like classical music. So that kind of like brings us together. That's something that we try to do.
great.
So we might do that this year when we're all together for
and the
Christmas.
whole town gathers around you.
we actually hike a mountain. I bring my cello
You
up.
bring the cello up. You got to spice up these stories.
Yeah, I know. I'm never gonna live up to that, Adam.
I'm not going to live up to either of you guys. So growing up, we would go out to the desert. My grandma,
cool.
my grandpa, they lived in Desert Hot Springs, which is just north of Palm Springs, and that was like all the extended family. We would all just kind of hang out. So like our family's kind of scattered all over SoCal, so we don't see each other very often. We have like some family that live in Irvine, family that live just all over, just different places. And so like that, Thanksgiving and Christmas and like maybe one other holiday, like that would be like the 1 or 2 days where we'd all kind of gather. So it is
Yeah, if
good.
you haven't been to LA or Southern California, it's big. Like if you're if you're on the west side versus being on the east side,
Yeah,
it's just like
it's probably not that far away. Like I've got cousins that live in like Laguna Niguel, but I never see them because it's like in traffic. What does it take
just
to get to
feel.
Laguna
I mean, going to
Niguel?
Orange County feels like a different world sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. I was talking about how in LA and California in general, it feels very isolating. Like, yeah, I have friends that live across town, but I mean, I'd probably be more likely to see them if I was visiting from out of town. Oh, we got to make time to like
Yeah,
see you,
because
but it's like,
you would never make time.
yeah, well, you're there. We'll see you soon. It's like, it can be isolating.
I was amazed when I go to another city, like visit Nashville or something, and it's like you drive out of the downtown and it's like there is nothing, you know. I'm just like, where did everything go?
The one that always pops in my head, there's a lot of cities like that, but if you've ever been to Indianapolis, it's like you're just driving through like nothing, like cornfields, and then there's just a city there. And when you're standing in the middle of the city, you can like look down the rows of buildings, and it's like there's buildings built, and then it stops. There's just like nothing. You can just
End
see,
of
like,
city.
You can just see where the city ends.
Wow.
I visited family in Kentucky when I was a kid. I was probably 8, and I remember being amazed at like there'd just be like grass. Like, why isn't there anything there? Like, they'd just be like random fields that are just open. I'm like, that's so weird. Like growing up in SoCal, you just see buildings everywhere.
Yeah, it's buildings. So much sprawl. Well, here's a quote from Dennis Prager. Because gratitude is the key to happiness. Anything that undermines gratitude must undermine happiness. And nothing undermines gratitude as much as expectations. There is an inverse relationship between expectations and gratitude. The more expectations you have, the less gratitude you will have. Here's a quote from another Jewish guy, Thessalonians 5:18. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. Very good.
True dat.
So do you think that's true? Do you think that it's not happy people who are grateful, but grateful people that are happy?
I was thinking about this the other day, how gratitude is a practice, and sometimes gratitude comes really naturally. It's like, man, this is such a cool thing. Like, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. And sometimes it's something that you need to practice and remind yourself to look at your blessings that have become the norm and then go, oh, wait, I have that thing that I wanted. Like, that's so cool. I'm so grateful. And then you feel happy about your life.
I think I've seen more recently just with this whole like woke movement and everything in our culture, the way that our society is going. And it happens on the right too, but it's the difference between just thinking the world owes you something, you know, and realizing that and Jordan Peterson talks about this a lot too, but it's like where we are as a society, just the fact that you have like a house and like there's not warlords trying to behead you, and you know, like it's like that's not the norm in the history of civilization, you know. So there's such an interesting connection, I think, between, I don't know, there's a big divide between the people that think the world owes them something and the people who are like, I deserve nothing, and so any little thing I get is like just so joyful to have, you know.
Yeah, like those Twitter employees probably weren't grateful for the free lunch when it was there, but now that Elon took it away, they just have an expectation that they deserve it.
Well, it's absolutely something.
Kids
like
these
that,
days,
right? The kids, man, those Twitter employees. I tell you what. Now that all the lunch items are $8, they're
exactly
they're upset about that. But you did get that feel watching like those TikTok videos where they're walking through, like, oh yeah, look.
There seems to be more and more demand, especially in social media, like whether it has to do with like the wages that people get paid, or you know, things that the government or their schools. It is just a constant like
everything's a human right.
We deserve more.
Yeah, right.
We're owed more, and you know people aren't grateful for what they have as much.
Yeah, and it was funny for us to make fun of that Twitter video because we have a pretty swanky workplace too. Like with all the we have good snacks and lunches and all, you know. But I think I don't know.
We don't have a food court though, so I was meaning to talk to you about that.
Okay,
we should probably get a food court.
Okay, yeah,
we don't have the non-GMO shrimp.
The
I finished the last ice cream today. We need more ice cream.
So I'm working. Okay,
I would definitely appreciate more organic food because, that's for
end of episode.
Just totally ruin all of our thankful, jolly cheer.
Well, Dan, do you want to read this C.S. Lewis quote that you pulled?
Yeah, so C.S. Lewis once wrote, I had not noticed how the humblest and at the same time the most balanced and capacious? I'd have to look up what that means. The most balanced and capacious minds praised most, while the cranks, misfits, and malcontents praised least. Praise almost seems to be inner health made audible. And that's in his reflections on the Psalms. And I think he was kind of connecting, or like maybe I was connecting, like thanksgiving and praise, that we praise God for who he is, for what he's done for us, for what he's promised to us. And then that therefore we thank him for, someone's looking up capacious right now.
Yeah,
So-
it
so
has
we-
to do capacity, right?
Yeah.
Capacity.
So like if you're mentally healthy, if you have a lot of space in your brain,
a lot of space inside your head. AOC is capacious.
yeah. So like the people that are always criticizing and are always cranks.
Yeah.
they're always
I like that phrase: cranks,
That's a great-
misfits,
I
and
know.
malcontents.
Those are some good
It's a great
insults.
insult.
Cranks,
a
misfits,
crank.
and
These
malcontents.
cranks over at
Malcontent.
Twitter.
Yeah, so I really like that thing at the end where he says praise almost seems to be inner health made audible, and it's like when you're praising God
Balanced internally,
or
then,
when you're
yeah.
praising somebody else for what they've done, or like you're kind of externally focused. You're not focused on what you don't have, what you need. It seems like you're healthy in the sense that you're looking outside of yourself and you're saying, "Man, that's really great." And you're giving somebody else praise or giving God praise.
It's like your cup is so full. You have abundance. You have your cup spilleth over
Yeah.
instead of lack. I need more. Nah, nah, nah. I'm a malcontent
Yeah.
and a
That's
misfit.
got to make the
a crank.
preview reel right there.
I like that word, capacious. It
a
just
good
feels
word.
like
Capacious
I
is
have
a great word.
space I have room for more, but I'm just like,
Capacious and crank.
there's space.
Balanced.
So our office
Yeah.
is our office capacious?
We have a very
Yes.
capacious.
Very capacious.
office.
Very
So-
capacious.
No, I don't know if I'm using that.
I'm really glad we looked this up.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some of the things we're grateful for. Romans 4:8, blessed is the man against whom the Lord does not count his sin. Obviously, we have all the things that we're thankful for, from salvation to common grace, everything God gives us in life. I like this John Calvin quote, we are surrounded by God's benefits. The best use of these benefits is an unceasing expression of gratitude. I want to know what J.R.R. Tolkien said, because I haven't read this yet.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, a school child once wrote to Tolkien for a school project, and her question to the Tolkien was, what is the purpose of life? And he has like this kind of winding letter, and he kind of says it's both too long and too short for that kind of a question. But he says at the end, so it may be said that the chief purpose of life for any one of us is to increase according to our capacity, our knowledge of God, by all the means that we have, and to be moved by it to praise and thanks.
That's a great quote.
So like our whole
capacious
purpose
quote
is
right
to
it
give
had
thanks and
capacity.
It
praise.
had capacity in it,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why it's a capacious quote.
Yeah.
C.S. Lewis, gratitude looks to the past and love to the present. Fear, avarice, lust, and ambition look ahead.
We're just talking about that quote.
Nice. But look at
Wow.
all this C.S. Lewis.
We have some other ones. Gratitude exclaims very properly, how good of God to give me this.
Oh, nice.
There was a really funny anecdote that I had from going to the Desiring God conference. Do you remember those with John Piper? I don't know if he still does them anymore or not.
Sure.
But he was like kind of talking to the crowd before he got going, and he was like, you know, you woke up today. You're not in hell. It's a good day. And everyone started laughing, and he's like, why are you laughing? I'm
Like we
serious.
just did.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think like realizing what we deserve
Yeah.
and then what we've been given instead.
I like this quote from Lewis. A man who is eating or lying with his wife or preparing to go to sleep in humility, thankfulness, and temperance is, by Christian standards, in an infinitely higher state than one who is listening to Bach or reading Plato in a state of pride. That's an interesting one. We read that Tolkien one. All right, well, what are some of the things we're thankful for before we, this is going to be a short episode, by the way, before we bump into our subscriber
Well, maybe not. Maybe we have a lot to be thankful for. It'll
No,
go
that's
on
not
for an
what I
hour.
meant. I just,
It's like, well, this is going to be,
What do-
we're going
what
to
do we-
wrap this
what do we
up
have to
because
be
we're getting
thankful
into
for? This
this
thankfulness.
will be
short.
short.
Wow.
Oh, man. I'm thankful for Buc-ee's. That's all I can think of because I'm staring at a giant Buc-ee plush right in front of me.
We had a great time down there.
This is so cool. What a cool thing we get to do for a job. I just love I love the bizarre random stuff, like when I'm touring the Ark with Ken Ham, and you have these surreal moments like, what, like, wow, why am I here?
This is an incredible job. And I
So
started working
cool,
with
yeah.
you guys this year. So that's like a huge blessing. And I'm super thankful for that I get to laugh
It's
every
great having
day.
you around, yeah.
Thanks, Kyle. I just think that it's so cool that we get to transmute all the chaos around us every day.
Transmute the chaos.
Well, and
Can somebody look up transmute?
Come on,
and put
guys.
that on this.
I just get the more I hear about politics and like I get really bogged down like really quick, and I'm like, see, I'm getting too deep into it. We gotta make fun of this somehow. And it really,
Transmute is a gender non-conforming mime.
wow,
A mime who was born a male. And then
way to ruin a really good word.
it's like transform? I guess it just
Yeah.
means transform.
I knew what transmute meant.
You're kind of right though. Like I feel like our whole culture is going crazy Like if it's apart from God, that's all they have is just worried and freaking out about the news.
Yeah.
Worried about freaking out about who's going to be president in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
You just have chaos, and people are going crazy about it. And like we're able to look at the chaos and be like, hey, let's laugh. Let's find something funny in this.
Let's remind everyone where the reality is. Yeah, it's great to have you guys because it does keep me really sane. And laughter, I think, also really points out where the line of reality and sanity is, and it breaks up all that chaotic energy. It's like, wrong.
I'm thankful for our coworker Travis who got hit by a bus. I'm not thankful that he got hit by a bus.
And is
but
okay.
I'm thankful that he's okay. I'm
very thankful he's
thankful that
okay.
he's okay. And actually, he has managed to come on screen and record a Travis's video game corner for us. So let's take a look at that now. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Therapy Online. Do you ever wish that life came with a user manual? I used to have a 1977 Firebird formula, and I had to buy that, car auto repair manual thing that they used to have. I wish life came with a repair manual like that. So when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you. BetterHelp has connected over 3 million people with licensed therapists. It's convenient, secure, and accessible anywhere. For me personally, talking to someone, whether that's a pastor or a counselor or a therapist when I'm going through tough times, that's been a big help in my life. Everyone deserves to feel their best. BetterHelp makes it easier to get started. Get unstuck with BetterHelp. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/BabylonB. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BabylonB.
Travis's Game Corner.
The first thing I did after I got hit by a bus was boot up an old classic Dreamcast video game called Shenmue. I don't know what Shenmue means, and no one in the game is called Shenmue. The main character is Ryu Hayuzuki, and he knows martial arts. It is an RPG that started life as a Virtua Fighter RPG, and then eventually dropped the Virtua Fighter gag and most of the fighting. You do very little fighting in the game. You spend most of your time walking around and asking if anyone has seen any sailors. And then when they say no, he goes, I see. It's a very boring game with very interesting ideas that never live up to fulfillment. And that kind of comes to fruition with it's near the end of the game when you're required to work as a forklift driver to advance the plot. It's a plot. Sorry, I have a concussion. And also, there are no guns or aliens or anything. No explosions. It's very boring. So anyway, in Shenmue 2, you go to China, and that's where I am now. And you also have to work in that game as well, but it doesn't make any sense because you're there to avenge your father's death, and you keep getting a job so that you can live. It's like they do all the things where, okay, yeah, technically he would have to make money, but normally you would skip past that with a montage or something. Why am I going around swindling people into gambling as part of the gameplay? It's very strange. All I want to do is run around and fight people, and you can't do it. I mean, occasionally you can in certain situations, but the game tries so hard to be realistic that they limit how much fighting you can do because no one can realistically beat up 50 people all at once. Unless you're Bruce Lee. That means Bruce Lee. I heard a joke once about Bruce Lee where it says, what's his favorite drink?
I will say that all of us are, a lot of us come from comedy backgrounds, or we try to aspire to be comedy writers. We hired Travis as kind of a normal copywriter guy, and he is, I think, the funniest person.
His delivery of the way he can just say something.
He's such a natural.
It's very funny, yeah.
Like when you watch those Travis video game corners, you might think like, oh, they wrote a funny nerd bit for him. No.
He gets out here and we just turn the camera.
That one we didn't even plan. He sat down and started talking to me about a video game, and then I left, and we just hit record.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that guy. Yeah. Feel better soon, Travis.
Love you,
I know
Travie.
the road to recovery from a concussion can be a long one.
Yeah.
So.
Love you, T-Dog.
Yeah. T-Dog.
I heard chuckles.
Yeah.
I could hear laughter in the other room
Yeah.
at unexpected times.
I made it funny.
Yeah, friends, family, health. You know, I know it's. I think in the middle of politics, you can start to get too anxious and fearful, especially when the other party is running everything. You're like, everything's going to heck. But
I'm very thankful for my family that I'll get to go home and see them this year in Pennsylvania. Because some years I spend it out here. I always love. I love Thanksgiving either way. If I'm here in California, I'm thankful for the time that I get to spend with friends here. If I go back home, it's great to see my parents and my brothers and my family there. I'm very thankful for the Babylon Bee and the work we get to do here. When you guys came to my show in Texas, I'm also just very grateful that between stand-up and comedy writing in this, that I get to do something like this with my life. You know, it's
crazy,
like,
isn't it?
It's that old thing they say, you know, where like if you find a way to make money doing something you love, you'll never work a day.
Right.
It is like I feel blessed every time I get on a stand-up stage. It's like, how is it that I get to do this? And you know what popped in my head when you were saying about, you know, in the midst of politics and everything, one thing that I like, how it's very divisive, but we have so much to be grateful for. I think when I got into comedy and specifically stand-up, I was always grateful for being able to make people laugh and being able to see other people that make me laugh. But one of the things that sort of come from traveling to do stand-up is I'm very grateful for this whole country. It's like when we get to go for a weekend and like step off a plane and you're in Texas, the week before that, you know, if I'm in Florida, sometimes I'm here in California, there's people from like all over the political spectrum and stuff. But when you actually get to see these different locations and get to interact with the people and just see the beauty of the landscapes and the cities and everything, it's just, I really am grateful for this country and just all the people here and all that it has.
yeah, awesome. Treasure in Heaven is great, but it's not going to buy you a tank of gas. So let's take a moment to briefly review the current state of our economy and the global effect the war between Russia and Ukraine has had. We're in for a tough year here, and Biden's printing and spending could be catastrophic for the US dollar and the market. That's why a growing number of financial analysts are recommending you diversify with gold and silver now. And the only company we recommend is Allegiance Gold. Our friends at Allegiance Gold can help you protect your IRA or 401k with physical gold and silver and have it delivered securely right to your door. The team at Allegiance Gold takes the time to educate their clients on the importance of having a financial portfolio that's diversified with gold and silver. Allegiance Gold has been one of the top precious metals firms in the nation for their commitment to protecting your hard-earned savings. They have an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, a 5-star rating with TrustLink, and they're AAA rated with the Business Consumer Alliance. If you act now by calling them and you mention Babylon Bee, we'll even give you $500 of free silver on a qualified purchase. Call 844-790-9191 to get this exclusive offer. Or you can visit allegiancegold.com/B. That's B-E-E. Call 844-790-9191. That's 844-790-9191. Or visit allegiancegold.com/BEE.
Yeah, family, friends, that I get to work at the Babylon Bee, just for all the reasons that you guys were saying. But like, you know, I get to just do kind of whatever I want to do. I can plan a podcast. I can write a script. I have the opportunity to do kind of whatever I want to play with that day. You know, it's so much fun. And
Yeah, you did a great job. Dan wrote our If Women Had the Same Rights as Guns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was his pitch,
Turned out
and
really
he wrote
good.
the script.
It did turn out well, yeah.
And was that your first script you'd written?
That was my first one.
You just
yeah.
killed
It
it,
was
man.
really
Good job.
great.
Yeah.
Good job.
Did very
But just
well.
no, I'm not bringing that up so that you can all praise me. But
I think that's really
just
cool.
just the idea that like I get to do this for a living. I get to pay my bills by doing that. Like how I couldn't have planned that. You know.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
just
incredible.
such a cool gift.
Yeah, I think like I was writing those jokes, those bits for Ted Cruz to read on when he did the cameo. I was like, how is this? How are you writing?
times when it's
this? Like,
surreal,
it's
you know,
surreal.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
how is this happening?
Yeah, when he drops the Zodiac paper, which I think is right behind. That was like the greatest moment. It was so good.
Yeah. Like when we interviewed John Cleese this year, I got to go to
Yeah.
Freedom Fest. So he's just like, goodness, how?
Yeah,
How is this a real thing?
My favorite thing was like him driving away, and he's a little older, so he's got the mobility scooter after he's been walking around all day, and just seeing him go away, go wee, just
Screaming weed, driving, like running over people, driving through the crowd, and it's just
yeah.
that was just amazing. Well, let us know what you guys are thankful for in the comments. We are going to go to our subscriber lounge. where we have some subscriber-submitted Thanksgiving stories. So we're going to see some crazy holiday stories from our subscribers and see what they're up to. So here we go.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Coming up next for Babylon Bee subscribers.
Very
You
lucky.
guys don't have like the weird uncle that believes in strange stuff, or
We'll have like a weird uncle or something, but it's not like Uncle Rick. I'm talking about you. Just kidding. We asked for subscribers to submit their Thanksgiving stories. So, yeah.
Dog food tastes way better than cat food.
You get to heaven despite liking Burger King. What is the first? What's the first question you ask God?
This has been another edition of the Bee Weekly from the dedicated team of certified fake news journalists you can trust here at the Babylon Bee. Reminding you to go forth and punch Satan right in the face.